Alright, Shalom. First and foremost, all praise to
Yahweh,
Yahweh.
Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai.
It's like GMS Wisconsin with another GMS Ring the Alarm. We was just, actually our class day, so we was actually going over Luke, the 15th chapter. So it was getting kind of heated in the spirit, so we was going to go ahead and finish it up and record. But we're going to start back from verse 1, okay? And this is basically dealing with the prodigal son. And basically, it fits this topic on what's going on about the Gentiles coming in, how James White and Vocab, how they believe that it's for everybody, but the scripture is only speaking about Israel. So we're gonna go ahead and prove that. Starting with Luke the 15th chapter, verse 1.
Anybody had that the definition?
Yeah. Prodigal son, or just the word prodigal?
Yeah. Prodigal son. The one you just read?
Okay. So the definition, prodigal son, it says the parable of the prodigal son, also known as the lost son, running father, lovesick father, is one of the parables of Yahweh Shai. It appears in Luke 15 and 11 to 32. It says Yahweh Shai shares it with his disciples, the Pharisees and others. In the story, a father has two sons.
Okay.
It says a father has two sons. The younger son asks for his inheritance before the father dies, and the father agrees. The younger son, after wasting his fortune, the word prodigal means wastefully extravagant, goes hungry during a famine, and becomes so destitute he longs to eat the same food given to hogs, unclean animals in Jewish culture. He then returns home with the intention of repenting and begging his father to be made one of his hired servants. And I just stop it right there.
Yeah.
Okay.
We're going to get to the full story.
It's Luke chapter 15, verse 1. It says, then drew near unto him all the publicans and sinners for to hear him. And the Pharisees and scribes murmured, saying, this man receiveth sinners and eateth with them. And he spake this parable unto them, saying, what man of you, having 100 sheep, if he lose one of them, does not leave the 99 in the wilderness and go after that which is lost until he find it? And when he hath found it, he laid it on his shoulders, rejoicing. And when he cometh home, he called together his friends and neighbors, saying unto them, rejoice with me, for I have found my sheep which was lost.
And that sheep, somebody get Matthew 10.
Gotcha.
And then Matthew 10, they just get straight to the point. And then Luke 19 to 10. I got you.
This is Matthew chapter 10, verse 5. It says, these 12 Yahweh Shai sent forth and commanded them, saying, go not into the way of the Gentiles, and into any city of Samaria enter ye not, but go rather to the lost sheep of the house of Israel.
Right, so that lost sheep, this is a parable, but we're going to open up the parable. The lost sheep is talking about the Israelites, okay? That's what this is speaking of. That's it. Go ahead, 19 and 10.
Luke chapter 19, verse 10, you say, for the Son of Man is come to seek and to save that which was lost.
See that? So he came to seek and to save what was lost. Matthew told you that the one that's lost is Israel. Okay? Now go back to that. Luke.
Yeah.
Ezekiel 34.
Yeah. Do the John 10:16 too. Because that was a good one too.
Yeah, keep going.
Okay. It's back in Luke 15 and 6, it says, and when he cometh home, he called together his friends and neighbors, saying unto them, rejoice with me, for I found my sheep which was lost. I say unto you that likewise joy shall be in heaven over one sinner that repenteth, more than over 99 just persons which need no repentance. Either what woman having 10 pieces of silver, if she lose one piece, does not light a candle and sweep the house and seek diligently till she find it? And when she have found it, she calleth her friends and her neighbors together, saying, rejoice with me, for I have found the piece which I had lost.
Right, because it's more precious and more. You know, when you lose something, you get real happy that you found it. So that's how basically it is with Yahushua and us. Okay, they're basically the ones that was lost. When you finally get found or sought out, if you have a party, you have a party, you cry, you laugh, you rejoice, and that's what's gonna happen when Yahushua returns. Okay.
And he don't stop searching for just that one piece.
Right. Exactly. Ezekiel 34:11.
This is Ezekiel chapter 34, verse 11. It says, "For thus saith the Lord, power, behold, I will both search my sheep, and seek them out, as a shepherd seeketh out his flock in the day that he is among his sheep that are scattered."
Right. So that day is now. Yahushua is seeking out their flock. Okay, through the Spirit. Okay, using the Urim and the Thummim, using the internet. Okay, this is getting so wide now. How the sheep is being sought out. The sheep is being sought out. Is doing the brothers and apostles been doing live shows, even doing live shows outside on the Saturdays. You ain't gotta wait for it to get uploaded. It's being live streamed outside.
That's right.
Okay, so that's how you know this is getting more bigger. Okay, the Lord is opening up everything, for that for the lost sheep to be found. Go ahead.
It says, "So will I seek out my sheep, and will deliver them out of all places where they have been scattered in the cloudy and dark day."
Right, those Israelite foreigners. Okay, the ones that's been scattered across the globe. Okay, that's what time we living in. We living in a time of Acts when those Gentiles are being basically redeemed by Yahweh Shemel Shah.
That's right.
Go ahead.
"And I will bring them out from the people, and gather them from the countries,
Right.
and will bring them to their own land, and feed them upon the mountains of Israel by the rivers, and in all the inhabited places of the country. I will feed them in a good pasture, and upon the high mountains of Israel shall their fold be. They shall lie in a good fold, and in a fat pasture shall they feed upon the mountains of Israel.
Yep.
I will feed my flock, I will cause them to lie down, saith the Lord power. I will seek that which was lost, and bring again that which was driven away."
That's what this is about, and that's how you know this was what the Bible ain't for everybody.
That's right.
It's for the Israelites. Okay. All throughout the Old Testament and the New Testament, okay, they Esau likes to say, how do they put it? The major prophets and the minor prophets. No, all the prophets spoke great things. There's not no major or minor prophet. All the prophets spoke about Israel. Okay, go ahead.
It says, "And will bind up that which is broken."
And all the prophets spoke about the nation of Israel being redeemed for going off.
Yep.
Go ahead.
"And will bind up that which was broken, and will strengthen that which was sick.
Right.
But I will destroy the fat and the strong, and I will feed them with judgment." That's it.
That's it. Okay.
That's the false ones.
And if I may say, that
You
goes
got,
back to class.
John 11. Okay. What did Yah call?
John 3:10, wasn't it?
No.
Genesis 16.
Yeah.
Okay, you got that? Yeah. Come on, say what you had to say about it.
Oh no, I was just going to say that goes back to Amos 9 and 11, where Scripture said that we will bind up that which is broken.
Yeah, that's what I was just thinking. We can get that too.
John chapter 10, verse 16. It say, "And other sheep I have, which are not of this fold. Them also I must bring, and they shall hear my voice.
Yeah.
And
Right.
there shall..."
So the sheep, the sheep had to be a part of the fold to begin with, and they were lost. Now it's not talking about some, a whole, different manner of flock, or it's talking about the same kind.
Yeah, right.
And so, and they like to bring in, the other nations being the Gentiles, when it's really talking about one stock, the stock of Israel.
That's why y'all took the Apocrypha out the Bible.
Yep.
"And there shall be one fold and one shepherd."
Yep.
And in one fold is the whole nation of Israel. And then one shepherd is Yahushua. "Therefore doth my Father love me, because I lay down my life, that I might take it again."
See, he laid down his life for the flock. And that goes into that revelation. Somebody want to get that too. Revelations. Yeah, I'm one. Yeah. Go ahead. Finish that up. It's a little bit more.
No man taketh it from me, but I lay it down of myself.
See, ain't nobody gonna take the elect from Yahweh Shemel Shai. Okay, that's what they're trying to do. That's why they're trying to set up all these different camps of distractions. Basically, that's what you want to call them, camps of distractions, so they can try to distract the elect from being risen. Okay, that's what Esau's trying to do, or trying to pinpoint who are those right men and who are, you know, the agents and stuff like that. But ultimately, Satan is trying to kill and I say murder the elect. But it said you can't take them out of the Lord's hand. You know, now all the distractions you got going on, the ones who's going to be taken by that is the ones who was never part of the elect. Point blank. Period. Go ahead.
I have power to lay it down, and I have power to take it again. This commandment have I received of my Father.
5 and start from 9. That's it.
Yeah. Oh, you want me to keep going? See, there was a division before men.
No, that's it.
Go ahead. I know.
Amos 9 and 11, it says, in that day will I rise up the tabernacle of David.
And the tabernacle of David was all the tribes. Okay, when you go into the history, all the tribes was together. Not until King Solomon's era is when Jeroboam and Rehoboam had split and separated. Then it became the northern and it became the southern kingdom.
So that proved that we're in a time of war then.
Yeah, exactly.
Right.
In that day will I rise up the tabernacle of David that is fallen, and close up the breaches thereof.
The sun that went off. Closing up the breaches is bringing us together, and then on top of that is basically the knowledge, the wisdom, the understanding of these scriptures. Okay, that's why the scripture said that, talk about the false prophets. Now, I don't want to jump, but it said they didn't, what did it say? They didn't bind up the hedges?
Yeah, y'all better make up the hedges.
Yeah, right. Broken that was healed up the sick. You know what? Get that. Because that fits that. Because they not, when you deal with ISUPK, they're not talking about, they may say the 12 tribes, but they're not teaching about the 12 tribes. You know?
You teach about black people.
They
Switch
teach
off a
about black
little bit.
people.
You know, even if you want to go that route, when you dealing with the 12 tribes, they were all dark skinned. Even when you deal with the stock that's in Mexico, they dark.
Right.
You know, they really dark. You know, Brazil, you got
And then,
dark ones.
you don't even want to get on that color thing because they say we're going to be the soil. When you go into the soil was different millions of layers.
Yeah.
So that lie about Esau having sex with our women and getting them lighter. No, we was always different shades. If you look at the hieroglyphs, okay, if you look at the pyramids and how we was written on the pyramids and stuff, we was always different shades.
I say something real quick. I say something real quick. Esau having sex with our women. All your ass doing is producing another bad spirit. Period. You making a tear. That's it.
That's another period of angels only.
Right.
So Amos 9:11, in that day will I rise up the tabernacle of David that is fallen, and close up the breaches thereof, and I will raise up his ruins, and I will build it as in the days of old, that they may possess the remnant of Edom, of all the heathen which are called by my name, said the Lord that doeth this.
Yeah, we had to show her Edomite yesterday, who actually, she knew when I said, where did this image go back to? She was like, oh, Revelation 1:13. White woman said that, old church white woman. I guess they was having some convention going on. And I was like, damn, see how she know that? And I showed her they judgment too.
Yeah, that's it. Because that's getting to taking the land and slavery. Where we at?
And I got the Revelations.
Read the Revelations.
Revelation chapter 5, verse 9. It says, and they sung a new song, saying, Thou art worthy to take the book
And go back to John 10.
and to open the seals thereof, for thou wast slain and hast redeemed us to the Most High by thy blood out of every kindred and tongue and people and nation.
And Ephesians 2 too, all right.
Okay.
Right. Read that again so I can.
Revelation chapter 5, verse 9. And they sung a new song, saying, Thou art worthy to take the book and to open the seals thereof.
Talk about Yahushua.
For thou wast slain and hast redeemed us to the Most High.
Right. Yahushua was slain so we can all come back together. Okay, so we was all redeemed. It wasn't specifically just even the southern kingdom or the Jews at that time. It was for all of us to be to be brought back. Okay.
And when you're speaking in terms of redemption, just the word alone means to buy back. Why you need to be bought back if you're not from the original, the original stock? It wouldn't make sense if you want to be part of that from the beginning.
That's what that Romans 11 speaks about. Go ahead.
And hast redeemed us to the Most High by the blood of every kindred
By the blood of every kindred, go ahead,
and tongue
and tongue
and people
and
nation.
nation. So that was bringing the Israelites from out of all tongues, people, and nation. Okay, through the blood of Yahushua. Okay. Go back to that Luke.
Okay.
Or did you have something?
Now that John on deck, just when you
Oh,
say
that's
talk
okay.
about that, like leaders like them.
That is before about how they can strengthen them. Reaching the hill of the sick.
Go ahead. Get back on that.
Okay. This is back in Luke chapter 15, verse 10. It says, Likewise I say unto you, there is joy in the presence of the angels of the Most High over one sinner that repenteth. And he said, A certain man had 2 sons, and the younger of them said to his father, Father, give me the portion of goods that fall to me. And he divided unto them his living. And not many days after, the younger son gathered all together and took his journey into a far country, and there wasted his substance with riotous living.
And the youngest is the Gentile being scattered abroad to these other nations.
It represents the
Hellenized, period, and so forth, and being indoctrinated into their cultures.
Yeah. He went to Spain. Spain is like Jake ain't got no discipline when they, all in the world. Go ahead.
It says, When he had spent all, there arose a mighty famine in that land, and he began to be in want. And he went and joined himself to a citizen of that country, and he sent him into his field to feed swine.
See that? I said he joined himself to the citizens. That's what you motherfuckers doing today.
Yep.
Making some flesh for the culture.
Yeah.
It says, and he would fain have filled his belly with the
But
husk.
see, this is why you got to understand what a parable means. It's certain things key things that speak out. So this is a parable on what the Gentiles did. They went off. He said they joined themselves, like the brother mentioned, they joined themselves to the citizens. That's Jake joining themselves into this world. And it say, I'm gonna pre-say it, but I ate swine. Now, when you go into the scriptures, what does it say? You know what I'm talking about, right? Acts, when they talk about the eating of the swine. Don't call
unclean.
because
That which is clean.
yeah, that which is clean.
So
Yeah,
I think it's part. I think it's
because that all fits into this.
The Romans 10.
10.
Cornelius.
Yeah.
That's what the guy couldn't get
he
when we
wouldn't
was
understand.
outside.
Right.
And that's why he said, well, show me that it's talking about like parabolic speaking. Show me where.
I watched that. I watched that.
Yeah. And I went to go get it for him. Like, nigga, that's easy.
Right.
But don't be a stay on there.
Yeah.
Nigga, you easy.
Yeah, and that's what Yahushua embodied that. That redemption.
Yeah.
He embodied that. When you're speaking in terms of redemption, dealing with Yahushua, in the scripture in John 15, verse he just read, it said they were joined unto the citizens. So, which makes it that much more of a reason for him to buy back. And you go more into the story.
Go ahead.
It says,
Yeah.
Okay.
Go ahead.
It says, verse 16, it says, And he would fain have filled his belly with the husk that the swine did eat, and no man gave unto him. And when he When he came to himself, he said, how many hired servants of my father's have bread enough and to spare, and I perish with hunger? I will arise and go to my father, and will say unto him, Father, I have sinned against heaven and before thee, and am no more worthy to be called thy son.
That's what basically, you know, and when you go into the Gentiles, we were Gentiles as well. When we went off, now we
That's a great
seeking,
falling away.
right, now we seeking Yahweh Shemel Shai. You know, we want him to basically accept us again. Okay, that's why we in this truth. That's why we trying to become a part of the elect.
Right.
You know, but going back to the Gentiles, this is the same thing. Okay, so go ahead.
This is I am no more worthy to be called thy son. Make me as one of thy hired servants. And he arose and came to his father, but when he was yet a great way off, his father saw him and had compassion and ran and fell on his neck and kissed him. And the son said unto him, Father, I have sinned against heaven and in thy sight, and am no more worthy to be called thy son. But the
You see
father,
how he said that? That was another parable. I sinned against heaven.
Yeah.
Because when the scriptures is written to those of us that know that we supposed to be doing the elect, because we came into our second estate and came from the heavens down here, and we grown to go back. That's why he's saying that I sinned against heaven, not I sinned against you.
He said
Motherfuckers
against the
crazy.
Most High's laws.
That's why the laws come from heaven, from the Lord. You know what I'm saying? What made you think the chariots wrote the laws, man? Guess what? The chariots, it be in heaven. They be in the atmosphere, like past the atmosphere, in the space, man. In the spirit world. It's a lot, a lot for that.
That's why the scriptures say you are the kingdom of heaven, the kingdom of heaven is in you.
Yeah, I think whoever be in.
Go ahead now.
okay. It says, but the father said to his servant, bring forth the best robe and put it on him.
So that we're gonna get the best. That's us being, you know, coming back into the fold. He basically came back, got into the fold of Yahushua. That's what's gonna happen to the elect.
That's right.
But we're gonna get the robe. The scriptures speak about that. The ones who's all dressed in royal apparel.
Receive palms.
It was on the Israel. That's Revelation 7. Go ahead.
And it goes with the second Ezra chapter 4.
Two.
Yeah.
That's 240. You see those,
Yep,
we had
yep.
the robe and the psalms in their hand.
And that's why they try to take the apocrypha out, because it
Yeah.
matches up
Matches too
everything.
much.
Because you can
Yeah.
picture that. You mean to tell me Yahushua gonna put the crown on my head himself? That's what it said in the book.
That's right, man.
So you're gonna meet him face to face.
That's
I
right.
said, damn. My bad.
Go ahead.
It says, but the father said to his servant, bring forth the best robe and put it on him, and put a ring on his hand and shoes on his feet. And bring hither the fatted calf and kill it, and let us eat and be merry.
That's, and that goes with what Yahushua said when he said, I will drink wine except I drink anew with you in the kingdom.
Gonna have a party, basically.
Right, remind me of the movie Thor.
It says, for this my son was dead and is alive again. He was lost and it is found. And they,
Precept. You finished that verse.
okay. And they begin to be merry.
Alright, so this is Colossians chapter 2, because it mentioned his son was dead.
Right.
Alright? This is Colossians 2:13. It says, and you being dead in your sins and uncircumcised of your flesh, had he quickened together with him, having forgiven you all trespasses.
Perfect. It's
Yes.
only talking about Israel.
Yep, blotting out the well, that's going into the law, but goes into the redemption. It says blotting out the handwriting of ordinances that was against us, which was contrary to us, and took it out of the way, nailing it to his cross.
Go ahead.
This is Ezekiel chapter 37, verse 12. It says, therefore prophesy and say unto them, thus saith the Lord power, behold, O my people, I will open your graves, and cause you to come up out of your graves, and bring you into the land of Israel.
See that? And that's when it's talking about how they was dead and then he became alive. That's when we got this breath of fresh air, this breath of life, okay, that speaks about that Adam had received, we received the same breath. It was the knowledge, it was the wisdom, the understanding, the truth, basically.
Yeah.
And that's what the elect is gonna receive. Okay.
Ye shall know that I am the Lord when I have opened your graves, O my people, and have brought you up out of your graves, and shall put my spirit in you, and ye shall live.
So what's gonna happen to all the Israelites who scattered around the world? When they see these videos, is they gonna be awoken out of the grave?
I shall place you in your own land, then shall ye know that I the Lord have spoken it and performed it, saith the Lord.
A lot of people think it's a literally grave they're gonna come out of. No, motherfucker.
It's your mentality.
Your mentality, all that wickedness that you once had.
That's it.
Yeah, kind of.
All right, go back to Luke.
Okay. This is back in Luke 15, chapter 15, verse 25. It says, now his elder son was in the field, and as he came and drew nigh to the house, he heard music and dancing. He called one of the servants and asked what these things meant. And he said unto him, thy brother is come, and thy father hath killed the fatted calf, because he hath received him safe and sound. And he was angry and would not go in. Therefore came his father out and entreated him.
Right, and now the son being angry is basically how the Jews didn't want to appreciate and accept the ones that was scattered abroad to come in, the Gentiles to come in.
That's right.
Okay, and to prove that, go to Acts 13. You got that?
Yeah.
Okay, and Romans 10. Start at 38.
Acts 13:38. Be it known unto you, therefore, men and brethren, that through this man is preached unto you the forgiveness of sins,
Right.
and by him all that believe are justified from all things, from which ye could not be justified by the law of Moses. Beware therefore lest that come upon you, which is spoken of in the prophets. Behold, ye despisers, and wonder, and perish. For I work a work in your days, a work which ye shall in no wise believe, though a man declare it unto you.
Right, because the work that was worked in their days was those Gentiles coming back in. Now, like when you go back into the parable of Luke, the older brother, he didn't believe that his brother was supposed to come back and be accepted again. That's the same thing was going on now today. Those same spirits are still now today, the ones who not accepted that a Judite man can look like a Moabite. Or, you know what I'm saying? Or even a so-called Jew, the ones who look like the so-called Jews is actually the real Jews or the real Israelites, but they look like the foreigner. You know? So that was a powerful work that had happened. Okay? And it's happening all over again.
Yeah, and to prove that it's an end, they say, and I seek the great multitude, that no man can number out of every nation, tongue, and kindred, and so forth. And he couldn't even identify them.
Yep.
Who the hell is all these people that look like the other nation?
Yep.
So that's how we know we at the end.
See, and I got to preach something real quick, because y'all, the world seem to forget the basic principle of the whole scriptures. This is Deuteronomy 4:25. When thou shalt, 26, I call heaven and earth to witness against you this day, that ye shall soon utterly perish from off the land whereunto ye go over Jordan to possess it. Ye shall not prolong your days upon it, but shall utterly be destroyed. Verse 25. It says, when thou shalt beget children and children's children, and ye shall have remained long in the land, and shall corrupt yourselves, all right, and make a graven image or the likeness of anything, and shall do evil in the sight of the Lord thy God to provoke him to anger, I call heaven and earth to witness against you this day. All right, not the whole world, but the children of Israel, that ye shall soon utterly perish from all the land whereunto ye go over Jordan to possess it. Ye shall not prolong your days upon it, but shall utterly be destroyed, and the Lord shall scatter you among the nations, and ye shall be left few in number, and the heathen whither the Lord shall lead you, and there ye shall serve gods, the work of men's hands, wood and stone, which neither see nor hear nor eat nor smell. All right, that was the Most High, basically, that's his covenant between him and Israel only.
Yeah.
Nobody else. So when you're dealing with the prodigal son, all right, him being brought back, being redeemed, that's what it's talking about. That's the significance of the scriptures, man.
You gotta understand.
You know?
Precept upon precept.
And that's why when you read Luke 15, when the prodigal son said, I have sinned against heaven. Because
That's right.
Spirit
Say
laws.
that.
Yeah, and that's why the
Most
Most High-
witness against you.
yeah.
That's why the Most High don't contradict himself.
Yeah, that's what they're gonna say in
Yeah.
Acts 13. They're gonna say what Paul and Barnabas are speaking is contradicting
Right.
because they didn't understand it. Go ahead, yeah, 13.
Yeah,
Acts 13, 40, it says, beware therefore lest that come upon you, Acts 13:40. Beware therefore lest that come upon you which is spoken of in the prophets. Behold, ye despisers and wonder and perish. For I work a work in your days, a work which ye shall in no wise believe, though a man declare it unto you. And when the Jews were gone out of the synagogue, the Gentiles besought that these words might be preached to them the next Sabbath. Now, when the congregation was broken up, many of the Jews and religious proselytes followed Paul and Barnabas, who speaking to them persuaded them to continue in the grace of the Most High. And the next Sabbath day came almost the whole city together to hear the word of the Most High. But when the Jews saw the multitudes, they were filled with envy and spake against those things which were spoken by Paul, contradicting and blaspheming.
See that? And that's basically the spirit that the older brother was in Luke, because he was angry at that party. He was angry that the brother had came back. That's the same thing. The Jews at that time, they were mad because the gate was opened up. The gate was opened up for the Israelite foreigners to come in, because they wasn't accepted, because they didn't stay around. Okay, they were worshiping idols. They were cutting their heads bald. Okay, they was participating in tattoos, participating in the worldly exercises.
Homosexual.
Right. Gymnos. They were involved in all of that. So then you see that type of person, and then next thing you know, he's calling the name of Yahweh Shai, or asking questions in the temple. So you like basically what the fuck is he doing here? He was just in the world doing this and doing that, but the redemption of Yahweh Shai, the blood of Yahweh Shai, brought those who was lost back into the fold, because deep down they were already in the fold. Deep down their spirit was already inclined to this. So that's it.
What is it, Romans,
Yeah.
Paul?
Yeah, let him, when you down, let him leave this way. Because it goes into Yahweh Shai.
Verse 46, then Paul and Barnabas waxed bold and said, it was necessary that the word of God should first have been spoken to you, but seeing ye put it from you, and judge yourselves unworthy of everlasting life, lo, we turn to the Gentiles. Okay. Verse 47, for so has... Okay.
It's like, you know what I said?
What's that?
Zechariah was 12:7
What
to
is
the
that?
10th of Judah first. No, it's in Zechariah. Zechariah is Zephaniah. I'm most certain it's in Zechariah 12:7 or 12.
Zechariah 12:7.
Okay, read it.
It's Zechariah chapter 12, verse 7. The Lord also shall save the tents of Judah first, that the glory of the house of David and the glory of the inhabitants of Jerusalem do not magnify themselves against you.
Right, so it had to be to the 10th of Judah first. That's why he told them in that Acts, he said it was meant for you to get it first. But after that, then your brothers and sisters gotta come in. When you're an older brother, you always gotta share or acknowledge who your little brothers is.
Yeah.
You always gotta acknowledge and let who they is, and they always have to come come with you. That's it. Go ahead and read that. What Doc called that.
This is Acts chapter 15, verse 6. And the apostles and the elders come together for to consider of this matter. And when there had been much disputing, Peter rose up and said unto them, Men and brethren, ye know how that a good while ago the Most High made choice among us, that the Gentiles by my mouth should hear the word of the gospel and believe. And
So before, how y'all feel?
And the Most High, which knoweth the hearts, bear them witness, giving them the Holy Spirit, even as he did unto us. And put no difference between us and them, purifying their hearts by faith. That's that wall that was broken down. Now therefore, why tempt ye the Most High to put a yoke upon the neck of the disciples, which neither our fathers nor we were able to bear? For we believe that through the grace of the Lord Yahushua, the Anointed, we shall be saved, even as they.
Yeah.
Then all the
That's the sheep. That's the sheep that in the beginning of Luke was talking about. That's the fold that John was talking about. You know?
And it's the same yoke that they're putting on brothers today.
Yeah,
The
do
doctrine.
this, keep this.
Guys like IUIC, ISU,
Then all the multitude kept silence and gave audience to Barnabas and Paul, declaring what miracles and wonders the Most High had wrought among the Gentiles by them. And after they had held their peace, James answered, saying, Men and brethren, hearken unto me. Simeon hath declared how the Most High at first did visit the Gentiles to take out of them a people for his name. And to this agree the words of the prophets, as it is written. After this I will return and will build again the tabernacle of David, which is fallen down.
Right. And that wasn't exactly happening at that particular time and moment. That's talking about what's happening now, because he was actually quoting what we just read. That
As y'all wish I know the beginning and the end. So he already knew from 2 Thessalonians 2:1-10 that y'all was gonna fall away and come back.
Comes back.
Again, the son of perdition gonna be known. We all gonna know them motherfucking crackers the devil.
Right.
And that's what we know. That's why we say it boldly now. Like
And
people mocking that. Yeah.
The world know. The Ishmael, they call y'all the great Satan. The world knows, and y'all
That's how you know it's been for this time.
Yeah, we got it.
And the world leaders came out, Iran, and you have journalists from other countries that they say America and Britain can't be trusted.
The mother and the daughter.
Here.
Upon whom, it's like it says, and I will build again the ruins thereof, and I will set it up, that the residue of men might seek after the Lord, and all the Gentiles upon whom my name is called, saith the Lord, who doeth all these things.
So
Keyword residue.
That's what I'm gonna say. I was finna come up. Who's the residue? Little sprinkle, right? Elect, motherfucker.
The ones that's left in the cup.
Right, that's what I'm saying.
That's it.
The dregs.
That's why it ain't a lot of us.
And you notice when you go into that word residue, that's the dregs, the undesirable parts.
Yeah, kind of.
And
That's something that's like
That's how they look at our lives.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And that's how
the offscouring of the earth.
Yeah.
And at that time, that's how the Southern Kingdom looked at the Gentiles, like the offscoring, the dregs, like the undesirables. Like, damn, we don't want them in this fold with us, you know, because they had that pride.
That's why it's gonna say this.
That's why even us
Romans 10 is-
and representative of Yahweh Shah, people who like know us personally or hear about us from other people through the grapevine, be like, well, I'm not messing with him because I don't like him.
Yeah.
Like, fuck the word and everything. I don't like him.
Right. And that's exactly how they was portraying. Like, you know, we don't like the fact that they coming in, and they've been worshiping other gods for hundreds of years.
But the thing was, the Jews, they was keeping the laws,
But they wouldn't.
but they was being hypocrites and evil.
Like everybody outside of us today.
Exactly.
Envious, malice.
Right.
all
Who
of that.
all the churches and they whole way they treat each other and talk behind
That's
each other.
fucking- yeah,
We know
yeah.
all you motherfuckers ain't shit.
So
We the ones really holding what Yahweh Shah said, treat thy neighbors thou, treat thou self, and so forth. We finding out that you motherfuckers ain't.
The scripture tell you, I'm trying to find it, how the Gentiles was doing the laws by nature, and they didn't even know. They didn't
Yeah,
even
so-
know,
yeah,
but
they
they, they was doing it by nature because they was already Israelites. But you motherfuckers wasn't even doing it, and y'all knew what to do. You know.
And then Romans 11, when it talks about the vine and the and being grafted in, Paul he's writing his letter. He's telling the Southern Kingdom, don't be prideful and boast that you are the circumcision, because the Lord can make you of the uncircumcision like that.
Yeah. And that's why he said,
Man, somebody else.
he
Man,
can give life unto these stones.
Oh, yeah.
And he said that to,
Come on.
no, but John the Baptist was saying it to the Pharisees. I think it was Matthew 2.
Read that Romans 10 and 16.
Romans chapter 10, verse 16. Say, but they have not all obeyed the gospel for the Elias said. Isaiah said, Lord, who have believed our report? So then faith cometh by hearing, and hearing by the word of the Most High. But I say, have they not heard? Yes, verily, their sound went into all the earth, and their words unto the ends of the earth of the world. But I say, did not Israel know? First Moses said, I will provoke you to jealousy by them that are no people.
Right, and those no people was talking about the Israelites who was who were scattered abroad. They was called no people, meaning not of the son of the Most High, because they was doing those customs.
Not my people.
You know, go ahead.
And by a foolish nation I will anger you.
Yeah, and they called them a foolish nation because think about what you know. Well, we know the scriptures and the laws and Yahushua now, but look how Jake is acting. We think that shit is foolish, irksome.
Yeah.
You know?
I
So-
said it yesterday.
Right. So that's how they was looking at the other brothers.
Yeah.
Yeah, but they can receive the word.
Yeah.
You know, they
So
can
we
go-
know not to be even prideful ourselves.
Yeah, we automatically.
They can be, yeah, 'cause they
They
can come
come
in.
in, piercing, tattoos, you looking at them
pants
sideways,
sagging all the way.
and then boom.
They can.
Exactly.
Go ahead.
Yeah, I got it.
You got it. Go ahead.
This is Romans chapter 2, verse 14. It says, when the Gentiles, which have not the law, do by nature the things contained in the law,
Right, because they was already the law's already gonna fit Jake. They was doing what contained in the law, you know, by nature, meaning they was going by the spirit.
these having not the law are a law unto themselves, which shew the work of the law written in their hearts. Their conscience also bearing witness, and their thoughts, the meanwhile accusing or else accusing one another.
Yeah. That's why you get certain Israelites, whatever tribe, they'll say like, but you should already like know not to do certain things. But then we like, no, I get deeper than that. And then we start going on this quiz. Do you do this?
Like,
Do you do this?
yeah.
Do you do this? Do you do this?
Like I was talking to this Ephraimite, and when I was in Utah, and he told me, he was like, bro, he said, what's up with the circumcision, the flesh circumcision?
Yeah.
Because I was going over the scriptures with him, and then I mentioned circumcision, and he was like, he wanted to know what it was about because you know he got an Edomite woman, and he got 5 kids by her, and he got all of his boys circumcised, but the mother and her family didn't. But that's Esau.
Yeah.
So they had this big battle on why he should and why he shouldn't.
Right.
And then he was like, you know what, I just went to my great grandma. He said, you know, why do we do the circumcision? And all she said was, it's been in our family for years. Or, you know, or for generations. We just do it because we've been doing it for generations. And I showed it to him out the scriptures on that's actually an Israelite custom. And, you know, so you Ephraim, you know.
Right, so
You
you
the
like-
second. and he punched the table. He said,
So
I
you-
fucking
I
knew
can
it. He
tell.
started crying.
Yeah.
You know?
Because there was something driven there.
Yeah,
He just
yeah.
needed you to quake and waken his spirit.
Yeah.
Like, oh, there it is.
So he was, you know, they was doing it by nature, not knowing.
Man, that's why I say, man, the world, y'all ain't seen nothing yet.
When Jake rise up and find out who they is that they've been lied to, they gonna fuck
And
this
Jake
place
getting
up.
pissed off, man.
And they're gonna be quickened with the spirit. They're gonna be brought to life.
They gonna be going back to
No.
this motherfucker.
That's why the race war is going to be intense. Oh, I told him over yesterday, we ain't going to be involved in the race war and shit. We here to spread the word. But like the brother said, when they wake up, they going to snap. Because we was snapping when we woke up. But we had to get other scriptures like, nah, you can't do nothing. You got to, don't haste above the maker. You like,
Hold fast
man,
until I come.
right, huh, and I give you a crown.
Bad enough, I was gonna beat up the air when I first got in True. You mean tell me y'all motherfuckers had us in slavery, man?
Right, that make you mad.
Yeah,
Like,
when you a Muslim,
and I'm representing against my own heritage.
Yeah, I'm Muslim out, man. Shalom Alaikum, brother. Woo. Soon as how I click my brain, man.
I remember it too, and I'm
I'm
like,
like,
gotta sit back in the chase, said, motherfuckers. I was like, whoa. I was like, damn, okay. He said,
yeah, man, that's
Yeah.
crazy. Thank you.
but okay.
does that keep on? Or-
No, that's
And
pretty much it.
What's that scripture you just brought out?
Romans 2:14 to 15.
Okay, cool. Yeah.
All right, go read that Romans 10.
All right.
Where you stop at?
I stopped at.
Just recap. Start from 17.
All right. This is Romans chapter 10, verse 17. Say, so then faith cometh by hearing, and hearing by the word of the Most High. But I say, have they not heard? Yes, verily, their sound went into all the earth, and their words unto the ends of the earth. But I say, did not Israel know? First Moses said, I will provoke you to jealousy by them that are no people.
That's why you gotta see. Paul knew the scriptures. Get that. This that Deuteronomy 32 and 21. Cause he was explaining. Look, man, the Lord said that this was gonna happen. But that's how you knew that the Jews back at that time, they was full of bullshit. They wasn't reading the scriptures. They didn't even, they wasn't. Or they was reading, but they didn't actually believe. Like when they didn't believe that was Yahweh to come.
They was doing it for vain glory,
Yeah.
like they do
Money.
now.
Yeah.
And you had the ones of them knew that was Messiah, and they said it straight out.
John.
If we keep letting this go and people believe on him, we gonna lose our spots with the Romans.
It'll take us out of our place in nation.
Yeah. So you motherfuckers in trouble, and y'all being highlighted.
Let's go. Go ahead.
Okay. It's Deuteronomy chapter 32, verse 21. It says, they have moved me to jealousy with that which is no God. They have provoked me to anger with their vanity.
Start from like 18, 19.
Okay.
Like right upon where it begins. Because it tells you that they were, because they were worshiping idols and stuff.
16?
15.
Okay.
Okay, sorry.
Verse Deuteronomy 32 and 15 says, but Jeshurun waxed fat and kicked. Thou art waxen fat, thou art grown thick, thou art covered with fatness. Then he forsook the Most High, which made him.
Yeah, because that's talking about Israel. Jeshurun, if I'm not mistaken, I mean the first. It's talking about Israel. They said they waxed fat, and because they was in the
Well off.
Yeah, they was well off. They had the money. They had crossed over. They was in Israel or the land. And they were basically flourishing. So they forgot their power.
Like the prodigal son. Prodigal means to waste money excessively. And what he did was he went off, spent his money, forgot what his father told him.
Yep. Ate swine.
Who do you think Yahweh Shah was referencing when he was talking about the prodigal son?
Right.
Be a prime example. Jeshurun. Or
Yeah. Go ahead.
It says, and lightly esteemed the rock of his salvation. They provoked him to jealousy with strange gods, with abominations provoked they him to anger. They sacrificed unto devils, not to the Most High, to gods whom they knew not.
Talks about your religions, man.
Yeah.
To new gods that came newly up, whom your fathers feared not.
See? Who came newly up. See, they didn't fear those other guys. Why? Because those guys didn't get them out of Egypt. Okay? Go ahead.
It says, of the rock that begat thee, thou art unmindful, and hast forgotten the Most
See?
High.
The rock that begot thee, that rock was talking about Yahweh. Corinthians tell you that. Okay? So for you, vocab alone, whatever the fuck your name is, James White, or any other group who don't believe in the Gentiles, man, y'all just need to shut the fuck up. The scriptures say you err not knowing the scriptures.
That's right.
Okay? If you will read the book, and you eat, if the scriptures say eat the whole roll. So if you ain't eat the whole roll, you ain't even gonna be able to put the pieces together.
You gotta be taught.
And you gotta be taught.
Even if he did, it ain't for him. He ain't gonna understand the parables and the metaphors and the dark sentences. He ain't gonna get none of that.
And I noticed what you biblical scholars, what you so-called biblical scholars like to do. Y'all like to pull up old reports and old thesis papers and read old manuscripts that people wrote and created while they were in college.
Because
and
they
old
can't go
books
into
and shit.
prophecies.
Right.
They gonna go.
Kind of
Right,
instead
right.
of just reading the scriptures and then you form your whole hypothesis or a guesstimate, I like to call it, off of what you think off of all these different reports that you read.
Right, because some nigga that name ain't even in the scriptures, but he
Right.
went to some Ivy League or some big college, said, oh, well, the Apocrypha, I don't believe that should be in the book.
Yeah.
So my thesis is don't use it.
Right. And they're gonna tell us
And then,
what our people, our heritage, used or didn't use.
Right.
Nigga, this our
And
heritage.
why we should and why we shouldn't use it.
Yeah, no.
And haven't even did the proper research.
That's why
all
Elder
this all
Zahn said
speculation.
he a nobody. So
Right, he a
forth.
nobody.
He a nobody, and we set the tone
Right,
and
extra
agenda
drug.
on what is and what's not. That's it.
He looked like
We the authority.
You know how
we
you know how those old white dudes be
what's the dude?
old crackheads and shit, or not crackheads, but old drug addicts, and then they found the Lord when they went to their AA programs and
Coke
shit.
Right.
man from
Yeah,
Breaking
yeah.
Bad.
Yeah.
Then the elites know he don't know nothing, so they give him a little money
Right.
and give him a little kickstart, and he established himself in the world as an agent, and he don't even know he an agent.
Right.
We did have to tell him he an agent, and he like, damn, I'm an agent. You know, that's you on the low level.
Right, yeah, all of them people going up like theologian school.
Theologians.
That's basically what you just said.
Yeah, kind of, and like I know you say all the Ivy League schools, you know, like Yale, Columbia, Cambridge.
Yeah.
All them schools were
Them,
actually created to be
Christian-
theologian schools.
Yeah.
And when you look at theology, though, you read what basic theology, it surrounds itself totally around the scriptures, man. Everything about theology comes from, when you look at the word theos means God,
Right,
and
yeah.
ology means oracle or conversation, godly conversation.
Yeah,
Oh,
so
that's how
don't,
that's how they that's how they
But what God,
interject
though?
Exactly, exactly.
yeah, you can't use anything outside of the spectrum.
Right.
You have to debate what what it says within the scriptures. No outside epiphany
Yeah.
doctrine. You know.
But the elites know that they don't know the etymology of words, so they created their God, which is science, and how human nature was made and everything.
And even if they do know all of that, the wisdom of His word is foolish. You have to have prophecy. You don't. If you don't know prophecy, prophecy is of spirit.
That's right.
You know what I'm saying? The spirit of prophecy. Okay.
Here we go. I got you. This is Revelation chapter 19, verses 10. And I fell at his feet to worship him. And he said unto me, see thou do it not. I am thy fellow servant and thy brethren, and have the testimony of Yahweh Shai. Worship God, for the testimony of Yahweh Shai is the spirit of prophecy.
That's it.
And then get what is that? He left it from generation to generation to Apocrypha. Ecclesiasticus, Sirach. Can I see somebody Sirach?
Yeah.
Sirach, I mean somebody Apocrypha. Here we go.
So, just in the meantime, scripture to back up by now with the spirit of prophecy. This is John chapter 6, verse 63. It says, it is the spirit that quickeneth, the flesh profiteth nothing. The words that I speak unto you, they are spirit, and they are light. So you have to read the scriptures, man. There's no way around not reading the scriptures. You can't form a hypothesis or your opinion off of something that somebody else wrote, man.
That's why Elder John said if you go into a document or something, you better be able to back it behind the scriptures or you ain't got no business using it.
Exactly.
GOCC found out the hard way. That's because they ain't the actual teachers. That's why. That's why James White and them can find holes in what you're doing. Because you ain't the authority.
That's right.
Use the authority, you'll know not to do that. So y'all better pay attention.
Like us, because we basically, we the authority, like the brother was saying. So
The mountain of
videos-
Israel. It's like the mountain of Israel is the government of Israel, man. The governing body. Okay, through the spirit from the apostles on down, that's who we are.
That's right. Where do you
There ain't no question about it. And the elites know it. Okay? But this is Sirach 24 and 32. I will yet make doctrine to shine as the morning. It will send forth her light afar off.
It's this word.
that was my point, and the spirit took it away because We the authority. We, you know, in their debates, they get to basically they get to set the standard on what you can and cannot.
What's
do.
credible, what's not credible,
Right, exactly.
everything.
We get to flood the internet. We get to flood the world with the truth.
And that's why they say our tactics that we use is not right by over speaking people, cutting them off,
Right.
getting louder, using profanity.
Yeah.
No, the way we setting it and doing it is the right way.
That's how the prophets were.
Judge in the courtroom.
John the Baptist. That's how the prophets were.
Yeah, Malone tried to scoff about that. Oh yeah, they're gonna say, well, John spoke like that and Paul was a rough man. You know, his little pocket.
Yeah,
I said,
yeah.
man, I'm still on your
He
ass.
got to counter everything. That's Moberg, by the way.
Right.
Oh yeah.
I got a precept for you real quick.
But if John-
What he said, real quick.
So we can go back into this.
Alright, this is Jeremiah 3:15, and I will give you pastors according to mine heart, which shall feed you with knowledge and understanding.
There you go.
And we always use that to trump how we talk, our mannerism, and everything.
Okay, this is going back. Sirach 24 and 32. I will yet make doctrine to shine as the morning, and I will send forth her light afar off. I will yet pour out doctrine as prophecy, and leave it to all ages forever.
That's why a lot of people don't like the GMS camp. Have scoffers saying prophecy is not everything. What about the law? I said, oh,
Fucking idiots.
That,
Keep reading.
right, got
You
him.
gotta finish that Romans off too.
Can I have a precept real quick?
Go ahead.
This is going back to, you know, what the brother read apocrypha about the light being shown, you know, being shown. It's Isaiah 42:6. I, the Lord, have called thee in righteousness, and will hold thine hand, and will keep thee, and give thee for a covenant of the people, for a light of the Gentiles, to open the blind eyes,
Yeah.
to bring out the prisoners from the prison, and then and them that sit in darkness out of the prison house.
Yeah, so basically, nobody ready for deliverance. Waking up the elected, you ready for deliverance.
That's it.
With knowledge.
Like I said before, they don't need to be delivered. What they need to be delivered from?
Right.
We the ones that came off the back end of the last 400 years of being enslaved. And then y'all put us in projects. And then y'all created institutions, what? To destroy us completely.
Yeah.
Morally, physically, all of that, man. So come on with that, man.
And America ain't finna be here for the next 30, 40 years.
Yeah.
So
Ain't no
it's
way.
over. So even if you Mayweather and you finna leave your money to your princess, well, your princess ain't finna get to be 50.
Right.
So it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter, man. It's over.
Finito. Okay, this is Romans 11 and 11. It says, I say then, have they stumbled that they should fall? God forbid. Talking about the Jews at that time. But rather through their fall, salvation is come unto the Gentiles, for to provoke them to jealousy. There ain't no more you can clearly add on to that. Okay, the Jews went off. Okay, they didn't fall completely, but through their ignorance, basically it's through their ignorance, okay, through their ignorance and pride is what brought the Gentiles forth, which is the Gentiles, going back to Luke, going into the second and third verse, the one that was lost.
Same as today.
Same as today.
But we got $100 million jet shit.
It says, God forbid, but rather through their fall, salvation is come unto the Gentiles for to provoke them to jealousy. Now with the fall of them be the riches of the world, and the diminishing of them the riches of the Gentiles, how much more their fullness? For I speak to you Gentiles, inasmuch as I am the apostle of the Gentiles, I magnify mine office.
Just like we magnify all.
That's
right.
Yeah, because we got an order from Yahweh Hashem Yahweh Shai. And that's why we get to tilt the playing field towards our way. Because it's our,
Yeah.
it's
Is it
our.
justified by Yahweh Shai?
Yeah.
And we set the rules and everything, which is all through the doctrine.
Right.
They don't know till they get out in our face. We can show them this why. That's what I've been doing a lot of when I've been outside, explaining why we are doing and what's happening and how you're supposed to go about doing it to show that you've written in the book because you're doing the actions.
Yeah.
Okay. You go back.
But for some they think it's.
So go ahead.
Oh no, they think we just grab the Bible out of nowhere. We just gonna do this
Right.
Like, you know,
And we
the
just
visions,
shit,
we was woken up and then the vision started to come.
Yeah.
And then we started to be
spoke about
bound.
that yesterday.
Yeah, we started to be bound by what the scriptures, going out and teaching. And the Lord started revealing stuff to us. And that's why we can go into this book.
Because he supped with us.
Yeah, kind
Going into Revelations. That what actually goes into what y'all brought out earlier in John 10, where you can go up and tell you how the one who was knocking at the door.
Yeah.
So
when
we
you
go
heard
into
the
that,
words, you
right?
heard
It's going into that. It's your house shot, you know, supping with us, you know, giving us that spirit.
But Vocab and James White, they single-handedly, they got it. You know, the Lord supped with them.
It was just something for them. They didn't think that we live this shit every day.
Yeah.
Life like we don't research and studying.
Yeah, because it's new to the
They
world.
thought it was a fucking joke, but you see,
No, it's
it's
here.
silent to them now.
Yeah, the elites hid it. They knew it was coming. They didn't tell nobody. That's why they got an inner circle and an outer circle.
Yeah, that's right.
They found out that they can't
Part of
fuck
the
with
outer
us.
circle.
Right, yeah.
Yeah, because on the leash, they peons anyway, so that's why they threw them out there to us.
Yeah.
And even if there wasn't so-called agents who the elite said, hey, go do this, go do that. They could have been just some regular old ones who thought they knew the scriptures. That's why I said, they're not knowing the scriptures. Thought they could come against this truth.
When you deal with the Ivy League schools, they indoctrinate them.
Yeah, that's
So
what they do, to
unwillingly
believe
they
a lie.
become agents.
Yeah.
Perfect.
That's why motherfuckers up. You always used to say that. You got how you used to put it?
No, lesser Luciferian.
Yeah, lesser
That's
Luciferian.
because they don't know, but they Luciferian because they under the doctrine of Satan, but they don't know. That's what make them lesser.
Yeah.
And you got the higher Luciferians who know which are the warlocks and witches, which consult with the top mayors and governors. That's why Adam Weinstein set up what over here? A secret society. That look, we know what's popping. We finna set up this order of command, and as you get down into the lower ranks of masonry, they ain't gonna know shit. So that was good.
They right. They
Yeah,
don't
a little
know the
bit.
water.
Yeah,
They don't-
bamboozle, ruin.
Yeah.
See, they don't know Vocab and James White. They don't know the severity of this.
Exactly.
The elites do. They know. Like I said, they're trembling in their boots. They're like, why? You know, this shit ain't.
Got it.
Yeah.
Yeah, because
I got one for you.
Yeah, that's somebody.
Second Peter chapter 1 verse 21. For the prophecy came not in old time by the will of man, but holy men of the Most High spake as they were moved by the Holy Ghost.
And we are the
Holy
Holy
Spirit. Okay, let's go back into that Luke.
Look back in Luke chapter 15, verse 29. It says, and he answered,
So starting 28.
okay.
Because he's gonna move.
Okay. Verse 28. He was angry and would not go in. Therefore came his father out and entreated him. And he answered, said to his father, Lo, these many years do I serve thee, neither transgress I at any time thy commandment. And yet thou never gavest me a kid that I might make merry with my friends. But as soon as this thy son was come, which had devoured thy living with harlots, thou hast killed for him the fatted cow. And he said unto him, Son, thou art ever with me, and all that I have is thine. It was meet that we should make merry and be glad, for this thy brother was dead and is alive again, and was lost and is found.
Yeah. So you rejoice when you find your brother. Okay, that's bringing the whole 12 tribes in. That's basically the basics of the Luke 15, man. Okay, the Gentiles was being accepted back in. Like you said, he's been with you for all these years. That's like the Jews at that time, they've been in that land, they've known the custom for all this time, but now they got a problem with the ones who didn't know the custom, was accepted, okay, and started following and learning because they became accepted again. It was redeemed, okay? But the reason why Yahushua is speaking is because he knew this parable was talking about why he came, you know? Not just to die for Israel, but the elect. And whether you like it, believe it or not, the elect is going to be a part of all different nations and tribes, okay? So with that, well, you want to end off with...
Yeah, I got it.
Okay, after that, Revelation 7.
It's Matthew's 13 and 10. And the disciples came and said unto him, why speakest thou unto them in parables? He answered and said to them, because it is given unto you the know the mysteries of the kingdom of heaven, but to them it is not given.
That's right.
So that's it.
Why he's been doing the parables.
I can't wait to have some Africans and some white boys
Yeah.
on the line.
Yeah.
I'm gonna be smiling like a
Yeah,
motherfucker.
yeah.
I can't wait for that day. Just to see how people respond to it. Like, the hell y'all doing with this dude? Da, da, da.
Those
I have to explain that. Right.
They
That's
have
what
an
we
excuse
love.
to explain Gentiles.
You know they hate white people.
Right. So, yeah,
No,
that's
they
it.
hate
Nah,
Edomites,
motherfuckers,
and they
yeah.
explain it to you.
Right. He's not an Edomite.
The brother in Florida get that all the
Say
time.
Edomite.
I got a precept too.
Go ahead.
Oh, yeah, do your
before
precept.
Yeah. This Daniel chapter 9 verse 7. O Lord, righteousness belongeth unto thee, but unto us confusion of faces. As it is this day to the men of Judah and to the inhabitants of Jerusalem and to all Israel that are near and that are far off through all the countries whither thou hast driven them, because of their trespasses that they have trespassed against thee.
And but the ones that are near was the ones that was in that land, Judah. Judea. You know, Israel. Okay, the one that was far was who? When you read into Acts, Asia Minor, Cappadocia, Pathros, the Medes, okay?
Syria.
Right, Syria, those are the ones that was afar, you know? That's it.
A little bit more.
Go ahead.
O Lord, to us belong confusion of faces, to our kings, to our princes, and to our fathers, because we have sinned against thee.
Yeah. Going back into Deuteronomy 32 when they were worshiping those idols, he said what? He was going to scatter. He was going to make them become a foolish nation. That's it.
Yeah, that's it.
So, okay. Revelation 7.
Revelation chapter 7 verse 1, it say, and after these things I saw 4 angels standing on 4 corners of the earth, holding the 4 winds of the earth, that the wind should not blow on the earth, nor the sea, nor any tree.
Thermonuclear fight.
And I saw another angel ascending from the east, having the seal of a living power. And he cried with a loud voice to the 4 angels to whom it was given to hurt the earth and not the sea, saying, hurt not the earth, neither the sea, nor the trees, till we have sealed the servant of our power in our foreheads.
So 4,000 years of history. That's why the angel came from where? The east. That's where we came from, the east, to over here. So it's about time. I spoke about that yesterday, that we've been getting our ass kicked since John the Baptist. So far, all the way to today,
Yeah.
kingdom.
Kingdom of heaven is
Self-survival.
And I heard the number of them.
I should say it's like we're of the saints.
Man.
Yeah.
And I heard the number of them which were sealed. There were sealed 144,000. All
44,000.
all the tribes of the children of Israel.
All the tribes of the children of Israel. And they go and in Israel. And they gonna go through 12,000 of each tribe. That makes 144. Now jump to. We ain't gonna read all that. Just jump to verse 9.
Verse
And
9.
then somebody go to Revelations 5 and 9.
Verse 9. It say, after this I beheld, and lo, a great multitude which no man could number, of all nations and kindreds of people and tongues, stood before the throne, before the Lamb.
See that? All nations and kingdoms of people and tongues stood before the Lamb. That was 144,000. Okay?
Not everybody.
That was 144,000 out of the nation of Israel. Now the precept, Revelations 5 and 9.
Revelation chapter 5 verse 9. And they sung a new song.
You know what? Slakia. Start from verse 6.
Revelation chapter 5 verse 6. And I beheld, and lo, in the midst of the throne and of the 4 beasts, and in the midst of the elders stood a lamb, as it had been slain,
Yahushua.
having 7 horns and 7 eyes, which are the 7 spirits of the Most High, sent forth into all the earth.
Completion.
And he came and took the book out of the right hand of him that sat upon the throne.
He opened up the book. Yahushua. Go ahead.
And when he had taken the book, the 4 beasts and 24 elders fell down before the Lamb, having every one of them harps and golden vials full of odors, which are the prayers of the saints. And they sung a new song, saying, Thou art worthy to take the book, and to open the seals thereof, for thou wast slain, and hast redeemed us to the Most High by thy blood, out of every kindred, and tongue, and people, and nation.
So Yahweh was here to die for the Israelites who were scattered abroad, as well as the ones who, who was here. That's why when you read the Acts, the first chapter, when they asked him, is it now time for Israel to be restored? He said, no man knoweth, but wait here, you're going to receive the Holy Spirit. And then you're going to prophesy in Judea, Samaria, and into the uttermost part of the world. And that's talking about over here. That's how you know this time is Yahweh's return.
That's right.
That's called measuring the time.
Prophecy.
Measuring the time.
dinners.
Even though like Auntie Tam said yesterday, or the other day, where she was like, she said Jesus, but she said Jesus is on his way back. Because she was talking about, we was talking about what's going on in the world. Everybody feel it, and everybody can pinpoint. What we was based off of, we was talking about the whole thing about homosexuals. Facts, LGBT. And they snapping about that. So they ain't down with it. But they gotta get the pieces of the puzzle. We all know that Yahweh's on his way, but you gotta be of that specific number to even get to live.
You gotta know certain things.
Yeah, the first fruits. You gotta be the first fruit. Because we're gonna bring everybody back anyway.
And then them the ones like I'm a one pulled out Revelations of Romans 2 and 14 about them, knowing in the spirit, but they really don't have the knowledge.
Yeah.
They know in the spirit.
Yeah, that's why I don't get all beat up that, sisters and brothers and cousins and uncles ain't gonna make it, because I know I'm bringing them back.
Yeah.
So I'll be like, oh shit, you coming back anyway. Shit.
Right.
Hey.
Just see you on the other side.
Right.
So
Where the grass is greener.
Yeah, it is.
It's just the definition of kindred.
Oh,
This is Strong's G4. 5443 for Revelations 7 and 9. And the word there is kindreds, but the Greek word is phule. It says a tribe. In the New Testament, all persons descended from one of the 12 sons of the patriarch Jacob.
see, they know this. That's it.
Yeah, that's it.
That's it. So those nations that was talking about the ones that was in Israel. That's it.
All those nations and kindred that was scattered through all the earth is talking about the stock of Jacob.
That's right.
That's how simple it gets. They always trying to.
It was simple in scripture.
Yeah.
Proverbs 9 and 8 or 8 and 9 says simple to those that has understanding. Right.
Yeah. So I got another scripture. This is Jeremiah chapter 2, verses 23. It says, Slack 33. No, it's 3 and 23. Slack. This is Jeremiah chapter 3, verse 23. It says, it says, truly in vain is salvation hoped for from the hills and from the multitude of mountains. Truly, and the Lord our God is the salvation of Israel.
So with that, we're going to end the lesson. Okay, all praises to
Hashem, Yahushai.
Nobody to the Apostle Great Millstone, citations to the occupant on the four corners of the earth, and peace and blessings to the elect. Okay, and with that, shalom.
Shalom.